Hello world, it's Lee Kelson coming to you live from Hong Kong FinTech Week, coming towards the end of day 2, and I'm here with Terence Lam from Loopnest Accelerator. How are you, Terence?
Good. How are you, Lee?
I'm very well, thanks. So we'll get to talk about Loopnest in a minute, but I believe you had a big announcement today with PwC, is that right?
Yes, we did actually, just in the afternoon, yes.
And so, Terence, just give us a little bit of background about yourself, and then we'll talk a little bit more about Loopnest.
So about myself, okay. So I started as an engineer, and then progressed to business school, and I have spent more than 2 decades in the telecom internet industry. Yeah. So my latest entrepreneurship is, of course, Loopnest Accelerator, and we are a cyberport company. Yeah.
Okay, so for people out there that don't know what a cyberport company is, what is that?
Oh, well, basically we're partnering with Cyberport. Cyberport has very strong support from the government. They have incubation program. We are a blockchain accelerator. Right. So actually we accelerate the incubatees at the most important stage of their development.
Right. And when is that? At the beginning of their life? Or is it at early stage, or is it when they get a little bit later and they're ready to scale?
Well, actually, it's between when they put their idea into a minimum viable product, a proof of concept, to before they can get the funding and the resources that they need for a rapid growth. So that's the period of time where they needed the most help.
Yeah. And so how does your accelerator program work? Is it like you have to apply to get into that program?
Yes, so we are very new, so we are still at the pilot stage right now. We are helping a handful of company on a one-on-one basis. With the experience that we're getting, that we already got so far, we are going to launch a more regular program at the beginning of 2019. And at that time, we'll open for open applications, and we'll have a screening processes, and then we'll run 2 cohorts a year. And then our goal is to accelerate 5 to 10 companies in each round.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we talk about blockchain, I mean, it's a little bit mystified for some people. They don't understand quite what it is. And then what are the companies? So there's probably 2 parts to the question. First thing, what sort of things are blockchain companies, products are they creating?
Yes. Well, blockchain actually is not that mystical. To me, it's very, very simple. Blockchain is the future of internet. The difference between blockchain and internet is a value network. So in internet, the information transfer is already very, very convenient, very, very efficient. However, people would be worried about, transferring value over internet because of IP protection issues, because of duplication issues. Blockchain solved that problem. They allow the transfer of value, whether that being your equity, your money, or anything of value, your intellectual property right over the blockchain. It prevents what we call double spend. So that is blockchain. It's a very simple idea.
Right. Well, I mean that simplifies it, but I suppose blockchain is in a way it's a bit of a buzz term, right?
Yes. Well, totally. It might sound like it's a very simple idea. In order to make that work, actually, there's a lot of technology breakthroughs, a lot of things that we need to do, infrastructure that we need to build.
And so you mentioned that you've got a couple of early stage companies and that you're at early stage yourself. So what sort of products and services are you seeing that are coming to you, or the companies that you're getting involved with?
Sure. So at this blockchain is still at a very early stage of development. So right now, we are focusing on the infrastructure, company. Actually, we're focusing on 2 things. One is blockchain company that's focusing on enhancing and building and enabling the infrastructure of what we call the value transfer. The second type of company that we're focusing on is what we call the connection point. We call it Oracle in the industry. But what it actually does is it connects the real world with the blockchain world. So for example, how do you automate the transfer of data from the real world onto the blockchain network, so it's not a broken chain. Right. Those are the 2 types of company that we're focusing on accelerating at this stage.
Right. And so you did an announcement earlier today with PwC. So what does that mean for your company?
Actually, PwC, of course, is a very resourceful and important player in the traditional finance and capital market. They had over 160 years of history. They have the best practices you have that the traditional finance and capital market needs. With the partnership that we're announcing today, they are going to bring that framework to help any blockchain startups, to have a more transparent, auditable, and infrastructure when they grow, starting from day one. That provides a lot of clarity and confidence to the potential investors and the users.
Right. Fantastic. So if people want to know more about LoopNest, where can they find you?
Well, they can go to www.loopnest.io, or of course they can come to Cyberport. We are there in the general directory, and we are very accessible.
Right, okay. So Terence, thank you very much for your time today. All the best. Congratulations on the partnership. We'll be bringing you more live interviews from FinTech Week Hong Kong. Don't forget to subscribe down below and press that button. We'll be back with more shortly.